At the launch of the 718 Spyder RS, Andreas Prunninger, the man in charge of all Porsche GT cars, was asked which non-GT 911 is his favorite. With around 20 models between the 911 Carrera and the most expensive variant, the Turbo S, he said the Turbo S was his favorite because he can make calls at high speed, it's comfortable, and very quick. When he posed the same question to me, I said, whatever is the cheapest one with a manual transmission. The 911T, right? He slapped me on the shoulder, affirmed that was the correct answer, and changed his. So, I've got that going for me. The point of that story is that he knows the bones of the cars he molds, and that the greatness of a GT3 RS or an S/T wouldn't be possible if the starting point were anything but exceptional. This holds true for the newly refreshed 2025 911 Carrera. A manual transmission may not be available at the moment, but the incremental changes to the rest of the car are an improvement. Power comes from a lightly breathed upon but otherwise carryover 3.0-liter flat-six engine. Unlike the new GTS, which uses a single electrified turbocharger, the Carrera carries on with two turbos from the outgoing GTS, and the intercoolers from the previous Gen 911 Turbo. These changes net efficiency gains that contribute to a small power increase of 9 horsepower for a total of 388 horses at 6,500 RPM. Peak torque remains 331 pound-feet, available at 2,000 RPM, 100 RPM higher in the rev range. Redline is unchanged at 7,400 RPM. Response is good, though not the lag-free experience of the new Carrera GTS. The exterior shape remains unchanged. Why mess with a shape that's worked for 8 generations? Though typical of a mid-cycle refresh, the bumpers have been revised, and there's more standard content. The LED matrix headlights with auto-high beams are the most noteworthy addition. HD LED matrix lights are also available, with 16,384 light sources per side working in unison to keep bright lights from shining on oncoming traffic. Active cruise control and night vision are available, displaying in the now 100% digital instrument cluster, but avoid these options as they come with unsightly sensors in the grille. That's right, the 911 doesn't have an analog speedometer or an old-timey touch. The 12.6-inch curved screen can display up to 7 different views, depending on how the car is equipped. Every Carrera now gets the steering wheel mounted drive mode switch as standard. Added to the list of no-cost options, which also includes the smoking package and a storage net in the passenger footwell, is the small back seat. The back seat may add a bit of weight, but its versatility is mandatory, in our opinion. A base Carrera should weigh just under 3,400 pounds, and Porsche says the car is 0.1 second quicker to 60 miles per hour, but the last Carrera we tested hit 60 in 3.2 seconds, which is 0.5 seconds quicker than Porsche's estimate for the new model with the Sport Chrono package. So don't be too shocked if it ties the outgoing car in terms of acceleration. From behind the wheel, the experience is all but unchanged. The steering is communicative. The 8-speed dual-clutch behaves like a professionally trained German Shepherd, never barking back or ignoring a command. The 911 is a cohesive round pod that brings joy to each mile. That's a difficult thing to price, but Porsche has done so, as you'd expect. The 911 has gotten more expensive, now starting at $122,095. There isn't a lot of competition at that price point. You can get a V8 by either undercutting it with the much less pricey Chevrolet Corvette or spending a good bit more on a Mercedes-AMG GT55. Or try to find a Lotus Emira or one of the few remaining Jaguar F-Types. All these cars try to capture the 911's magic because the Carrera remains the gold standard by which all other sports cars are judged.